Well, welcome. I want to thank you all for joining us tonight. I'm really excited to share the information on just our weight loss and weight management. And I know we watched Dr. Todd Miller on the weekend, but I always feel sometimes hearing it over again just really gives you a clear picture and a better understanding. And even after listening to him a few times, I always pick up something very, very important, and it just gets more clear and makes more sense. And it's keeping me on track because I'm doing the Proven 33 program right now. So I'm really excited to get just my body in just firmer, I guess, is that a word, as we get into our late 50s, getting more firm and more toned. And I'm really understanding the power of commitment, and just sticking to it and having and I feel great. I'm so grateful that I'm finding it very easy to do. So I'm excited to share this with you. So let's first dive in to listen to Dr. Todd Miller. We're going to have Mary Ellen's going to share a little bit about the detox, our holistic nutritionist, and we're going to dive into some of the other Neolife products that support the weight loss that we're going to be focusing on this evening. So thank you for joining us. And let me know if you can hear it. Give me a thumbs up.
I have the honor of introducing a colleague and someone who has been a friend for over a decade. He holds a PhD in exercise physiology from Texas A&M. He completed his postdoctoral work in microbiology at the University of Pennsylvania School of Medicine. He is currently an associate professor of exercise and nutrition sciences in the Milken Institute School of Public Health at the George Washington University in Washington, D.C., where he is responsible for the creation and oversight of the master's degree program in strength and conditioning. With more than 20 years of teaching experience at both the graduate and undergraduate levels, Dr. Miller is an expert at integrating and explaining the complex interactions of nutrition, metabolism, and exercise in a way that is easily understandable for the layperson. He currently serves as the chair for the Council for the Accreditation of Strength and Conditioning Education and has won the GW Excellence in Teaching Award 5 times. For Dr. Miller, though, health and fitness is not just an academic endeavor for him. It is also personal, as we have lovingly referred to him as Dr. Abs. So please help me welcome Dr. Todd Miller.
Hey everybody, I'm Dr. Todd with Neolife, and today I'm going to be discussing the keys to achieving transformational weight loss. And we need to define what transformational weight loss actually is. So my definition for transformational weight loss is that it's a permanent change in body weight or body composition that occurs due to permanent changes in behavior. And one thing we need to understand is that our body weight, our body composition, is a function of our behaviors and largely our environment, right? So for example, if I work in a restaurant and I get free food and it's a really, really good restaurant, I could tend to eat a lot of high fat foods because I have a lot of access to that. And as a result of that, I may gain weight. Whereas if I'm a construction worker and I don't have access to those kinds of foods, then I'm not going to be nearly as susceptible to gaining the same levels of fat. So my environment plays a huge factor in what my weight's going to be. Your habits, your behaviors play an even more important role. And these are things related to your feelings about food, the culture that you grew up with around food. So we have to have these permanent behavior changes in order to have permanent changes in our body, right? To make the distinction between body weight and body composition, body weight is simply you get on a scale, you find out what your weight is. Body composition is the relative proportion of fat and muscle within the body. And body composition is really a much more important metric to look at because it tells us where our weight is actually coming from when we lose it. Are we losing fat, or are we losing muscle? Are we losing water? Those are the things that we learn from body composition, and that's largely what I'm going to focus on in this talk. Now, in order to have successful long-term permanent weight loss, there are 5 factors that need to be in place in order for this to occur. And I didn't make these 5 things up, these things that are published in the research. And I'm going to talk about these things in the context of Neolife's weight loss solution. And I'm going to specifically talk about how the weight loss solution plays into each of these 5 factors and how it can help to make sure that these 5 factors are things that you are keeping in place as you move forward with your weight loss journey. So when we discuss the weight loss solution, we'll be talking specifically about Pro Vitality and the Neolife shakes. And again, we will discuss these things in the context of those 5 factors that need to be in place in order to achieve long-term successful weight loss. So what are those 5 things? These are the big 5 things. I'll just go through these really quickly and then we'll go through them individually. But these things have to be in place for successful long-term improvements in body composition. And the first one is that fat loss is driven by a sustained caloric deficit. Any eating strategy will work as long as you create a calorie deficit. Metabolic adaptation, which happens during weight loss, has to be mitigated or prevented. And again, if you don't know what these are, we'll talk about these things individually coming up. Increasing muscle mass in a calorie deficit requires protein intakes that are greater than the U.S. recommended daily allowance for protein, and that's critically important. And finally, your fat loss strategy has to be something that you can maintain forever. Most people put an awful lot of energy into thinking what they're going to do in order to lose weight, but they put no effort into thinking about what they're going to do to maintain that weight loss. So this is critically important to make sure that these behaviors that you're adopting are things that you can do over the long term, over the rest of your life. So let's talk about these things individually. And the first one is, as we said, is fat loss is driven by a sustained caloric deficit. And this is not surprising. We've all heard this before, right? You have to burn more than you eat in order to lose weight. And this is largely true, okay? But there are some potential problems with this. If we have sustained calorie deficits, this potentially leads to macro and micronutrient deficiencies. Now, a macronutrient is simply carbs, fats, protein, or alcohol. It's anything that contains calories. Whereas a micronutrient is more like vitamins and minerals and stuff that doesn't contain calories, but is still critical for optimal weight loss and optimal health. And if you are exercising as a part of this weight loss strategy, now you potentially have even greater deficiencies because your energy demands are higher, right? You're burning more calories, but you're giving yourself fewer. And that potentially leads to deficiencies because the more activity you do, the more calories you need, okay? There are problems with potentially energy availability. So if you're feeling fatigue or you're having problems with sleep, all of those things are potentially what you experience when your caloric intake is too low. That also would worsen with exercise because, again, the energy output is greater than the energy input. And the body doesn't like to be in that situation for a very long period of time. You could potentially have losses in muscle mass and decreases in the metabolic rate, which we'll expand on more as we move forward here. So how does Pro Vitality affect or play into this first factor of eating fewer calories? Well, because we're eating fewer calories, as I said, we have the potential for a decrease nutritional intake. And the important factors that are in our diet we potentially may miss out on because we're eating less. So these things individually, let's talk about Treonin first. Treonin is the world's first phytonutrient supplement. It's Neolife's first product. And it helps to extract critical nutrients from raw foods, and this creates a greater nutrient efficiency. So if you are eating less, Treonin helps by helping to extract as many nutrients as possible from the limited number of calories that you're eating, right? So this should be pretty clear why this is important during weight loss. The second thing is the carotenoid complex. Carotenoids are antioxidants. They come from fruits, vegetables, and they play a really important role in fat metabolism. Now, 90% of people do not get the recommended daily amount of fruits and vegetables. So And again, this worsens in a calorie deficit. So if you're in a calorie deficit, odds are you're going to be eating less than you would normally. So you'd be even less likely to get the recommended daily amounts of fruits and vegetables in your diet. And this is where the carotenoid complex comes in and can make up for those gaps. Omega-3 is in salmon oil, and omega-3s are really good for inflammation. And fat is pro-inflammatory. So if you have a lot of excess body fat on you, that can lead to inflammation. It can cause problems with metabolic disorder, and omega-3s help these things. But something to remember is that omega-3s are generally found in fatty fish. And if we're trying to eat in a caloric deficit, it's probably not a great idea to try and get all your omega-3s from something like salmon, for example, because salmon is fairly high in fat. And if we're trying to keep our caloric intake low, we don't want to be eating a lot of fatty foods. So the salmon oil supplement allows us to get those omega-3s without getting all the calories that we would in those fatty fishes. And then we have essential vitamins and minerals, which again contribute to your total micronutrient intake as you're going through this calorie deficit. Any eating strategy will work as long as a caloric deficit is created. So this is important because we hear things all the time about, well, if you want to lose weight, all you need to do is cut out carbohydrates. You may lose weight if you cut out carbohydrates, but that is not one of the 5 essential things that you need to do in order to ensure weight loss, okay? So I have 3 different diets up here: a ketogenic diet, a vegan diet, and a carnivore diet. Carnivore diet is largely just like it sounds. You eat a lot of meat and not a whole lot of anything else. A vegan diet is you don't eat any animal products, and a ketogenic diet is when you eat very little carbs, small amounts of protein, and about maybe 70 to 80% of your calories from fat. So you can see that these eating strategies are all very, very different. However, all of them will work as long as you create the calorie deficit, okay? So the thing to remember about this is that while all of these eating strategies can potentially lead to weight loss as long as the caloric deficit is there, the difference is where that weight is going to come from when you lose it. So someone on a vegan diet, for example, is probably going to have a much lower protein intake than somebody on a carnivore diet. But the person on the carnivore diet is likely to have a much higher fat intake than the person on the vegan diet. So while calories affect how much weight you lose or whether you lose weight, the macronutrient distribution, or the proportion of carbs, fats, and protein, that really determines where that weight comes from. So when you hear people say, you must do this in order to lose weight, if that involves one of these eating strategies or some other type of eating philosophy, that's not really true. Calories are the main driver, and macronutrient distribution determines where that weight loss comes from. The third thing we have to deal with is the metabolic adaptation that accompanies weight loss. Now, generally, when you lose weight, you'll burn fewer calories at rest. So if I'm just sitting here at rest, if you were to just measure my metabolism over the course of 24 hours, we refer to that as the resting metabolic rate. And that's what you see over here on the y-axis. We have the resting metabolic rate in calories per day. On the x-axis, we're looking at body weight, and you can see that as an individual gets lighter, the number of calories that they burn at rest falls, and that's not surprising. If you look at a pickup truck versus a motorcycle, a pickup truck burns more gas than a motorcycle because it's heavier. Heavier things burn more fuel, and the same thing applies to people, okay? So when you lose weight, your metabolism is going to slow down. Now, if the caloric deficit is too big, if you have a really large caloric deficit, let's say you're at 1,000 calories a day deficit or something like that, you potentially run the risk of having the metabolism slow disproportionately to the weight loss, okay? That's a maladaptation. We don't want that to happen, right? What we really would like to happen is to see the metabolism stay the same or even increase a little bit as that weight is falling, okay? Well, that's not that easy to do, okay? It's generally accepted that you will slow down your metabolism as you lose weight, but it does not have to happen. And there are ways to prevent that. Now, one of the ways that we prevent that, or the major way that we prevent that, is by increasing our muscle mass. Now, what I have here is a figure that looks very similar to the one previously. We have resting metabolic rate on the y-axis again, but this time on the x-axis, we're looking at fat-free mass. So really what we're looking at here is muscle mass. So on the x-axis, you're looking at muscle. So it's not total weight, it's just muscle. And as you can see, the people who have more muscle burn more calories in a given day. The number of calories that you burn is directly related to how much muscle you have. And one of the most powerful predictors of weight regain following weight loss is how much muscle did you lose during that dietary intervention. Okay? So if we lose a lot of muscle, we are very quickly going to gain our fat back. If we are able to lose weight, but have that weight only come from fat and maintain our muscle, then we are much, much more likely to be able to maintain that weight loss long term. So the key is maintaining muscle during dieting. So how do we do that? We do that through weight training and through increasing our protein intake. And you can see that I have a picture of the Neolife shakes here. And we'll talk more about those in a little bit. So increasing protein intake and weight training is how we deal with metabolic adaptation. Well, how do we gain muscle then if we're in a calorie deficit? And this is important. Increasing muscle mass while in a calorie deficit requires protein intakes that are greater than the U.S. recommended daily allowance. And the U.S. RDA for protein is a measly 0.8 grams of protein per kilogram of body weight. Now, most people, or many people in the nutrition world, feel that this is too low. And they feel that it's too low, even for somebody who's not exercising, just your general population, this is probably too low. And there are initiatives to try and increase this, and it likely will increase. But one thing I want you to keep in mind is if we look at how much protein you need while you're in a calorie deficit and while you're weight training, those needs increase dramatically. So the protein required to maximize your muscle mass while you're at training in a caloric deficit is 2.4 grams per kilogram of body weight, 3 times the US RDA. Well, what does that translate to in a practical sense? If you are a 150-pound woman and you are eating at the RDA, you would eat roughly 55 grams of protein per day. Whereas if you were following this 2.4 grams per kilo protein prescription, you would be eating about 163 grams of protein a day. Now you can see that that is a very, very large difference, okay, between 55 and 163. Now the question becomes, how do we get all that extra protein in our diet without eating excessive calories? So for example, if you're trying to hit 163 grams of protein and your main source of protein is peanut butter, that's going to be seriously problematic, right? Because you're getting about, 4 grams of protein and maybe 100 calories, right? So if you needed 163 grams of protein, you can see that you'd be eating an enormous amount of calories to be able to get that, and then you'd blow your calorie deficit and you'd be in a surplus and you'd be gaining fat, okay? So if we think about the foods that contain protein, they're generally animal products that are often high in fat, red meat, salmon, another thing like that. So again, how do we do this? If we're trying to stay in a calorie deficit, how do we hit 160 some grams of protein? Well, we do that by drinking it. And the Neolife shake is perfect to try and reach these goals. It has 18 grams of protein. That's when it's mixed with water. It's only 140 calories, right? So you have a low calorie solution with a really high protein content, right? And this is what we're trying to achieve. Neolife shakes receive the highest possible protein quality score. There's a proteins are scored based on their degree of digestibility and how well they absorb through the gut. And animal products generally are of higher biological quality than plant products. And Neolife shakes have the highest possible score on that rating scale. So there is no higher quality protein than one can consume. Neolife shakes also contain branch chain amino acids, and if you don't know what these are just amino acids that can actually be metabolized in the muscle itself. So this has potentially a protein sparing effect, whereas if you're doing really long, intense exercise and you're in a caloric deficit, you potentially can start breaking down muscle and using that for energy. And the theory is that if we consume branch chain amino acids, the muscle will metabolize those branch chain amino acids rather than breaking down muscle and liberating amino acids from muscle in order to burn. So that's a much better situation to be in. There's 5 grams of fiber. Fiber fills you up. 25 essential vitamins and minerals. So there are a lot of really good things in the Neolife shake, and meal replacements have been shown to be very effective at helping to maintain weight loss over the long term. So the 5th thing that we want to remember is that your weight loss strategy has to be something that you can do forever. It has to be sustainable. So if you are currently trying to lose weight, think about what you're doing in order to make that happen. And ask yourself, is this something that I can do for the rest of my life? And if it's not something that you can do for the rest of your life, then you really should scrap it and find another approach, because it's not going to work. You may lose weight, but you're going to gain it back. So we have to talk about what are sustainable approaches that we can take to ensure that our weight loss is permanent and it's not something that's fleeting. So Neolife's weight loss solution, in my mind, is really a sustainable weight loss solution. It's something that you can do forever and with no negative side effects, certainly with positive side effects. So meal replacement shakes, for example, have been shown to lead to decreases in body fat and increase muscle mass with no other dietary intervention whatsoever. So, and this is published, I'm not making this up. So in studies where you have a control group and then a meal replacement group, if both of those groups are exercising, for example, providing meal replacement shakes to one of those groups with no other instruction. So you're not drinking in this study, these people weren't drinking these for the purpose of replacing a meal. They were simply just drinking meal replacement shakes, and as a result of that, they ate less naturally throughout the day. Protein is very satisfying. Fiber fills you up. So if the shake has a high protein content and fiber content, you're going to eat less throughout the day, and that's what happens. So this is very impactful. Keep this in mind. Drinking these things without any other dietary intervention will improve your body composition. Okay? For days, and the reason we say that this is sustainable, because the weight loss solution is designed to be a 30-day thing where you're drinking these shakes for 2 meals a day for 30 days, and you're taking Pro Vitality every day. Well, the way I see that is if we look at the first 30 days of those weight loss solution, you were using those shakes as meals for those 30 days. But then once those 30 days are over, go back to a normal eating pattern or incorporate normal healthy eating styles, but still include those Neolife shakes, because they are going to be able to provide you with the amount of protein that you need to maintain your muscle mass, and they should result in you eating less throughout the day, which will help promote healthy fat loss. Pro Vitality, we should be taking every day. Again, even if we have no interest in weight loss, we still should be taking something like Pro Vitality every day, simply because it is such a complete nutritional source, and it fills an enormous amount of nutritional gaps, especially when one is trying to lose weight. So that concludes my presentation on the weight loss solution. Thank you to everyone for listening to me discuss about Neolife's products. Good luck. Thanks.
We're so grateful to have him on our team. And we have some powerful stories and testimonials on the weight loss. And we're not going to get into all of them tonight, but I'm hoping that when you get on some of the Facebook groups that we have, some of the before and after pictures are absolutely incredible. I've just completed my Proven 33, and I can't believe the difference in my body composition. And that's why I was so excited to play this for you. Because as you get older, when you're getting closer to 60, as you know, it's harder to keep your metabolism going and to keep the fat burning. But this is something that's so easy to do, and I'm going to do it for the rest of my life, which is awesome, and still enjoy some of that. I call it sometimes food, right? Bad food sometimes, right? Majority of the time, you're really staying away from some of those foods that can really cause weight gain. But I would love to have now our holistic nutritionist, Marilyn Vanderbrink, come on and just share a little bit of the power of starting your weight loss journey doing a safe and effective detox. Mary Ellen.
Yeah, thank you so much, Nada, because this is such a great way to kickstart not only a weight loss program, but just to get rid of toxins, or like you said, if you just want to tone up better. And what's nice is it's healthy, it's safe, and it's only 3 days. So it's so easy to follow. And the key is our gut, right? Because as we know, 80% of our immune system's from our gut, and a healthy gut equals a healthy you. And this is a great way to rebalance the gut. So the Healthy Body Detox Kit, it includes 4 products that help you cleanse and energize the healthy way. So what are some of the benefits? It assists the body's natural ability to eliminate waste and toxins, which we want to get rid of, absolutely. Reestablish that healthy probiotic or that good bacteria community. Jumpstart a healthier lifestyle. So sometimes we need a kind of a kickstart to get going, and reset our digestive tract for a fresh start for a weight loss or fitness challenge. So it's a great way to do this. So we think fat cells, what do? They actually store toxins. So this is why people who lose weight, they don't get very good results, because when you lose fat, you start releasing these toxins, and the body's really smart. It says, you know what? I see toxins floating around. I'm going to create more fat cells to coat these toxins. And so what happens is you just keep building body fat. You never get rid of it, right? Because we want to be able to affect the body's ability to burn fat efficiently. And that's what the detox does. It jumpstarts this, because once you release these toxins, then your body will stop producing these fat cells and you'll burn fat. So this is what the kit looks like. It's super easy to cleanse and energize. So it's 2 steps, just 3 days, right? And it just has 4 products. You can see they're the Neolax, the garlic, the Beta-Gart, and the acidophilus. So what does the Neolax do? I kind of say it's kind of like a natural pusher, right? It supports healthy elimination. Because when we start getting rid of these toxins, I know Don Lawson used to say the last thing you want to happen is to redeposit other areas of the body. So you want to make sure the bowels are moving, very, very important. And it's formulated with 8 different herbs that they actually work what they call synergistically, which really means they just work together. It's a natural, gentle cleansing system. Sorry, can you just go back there, Nana, for a sec? Encourages normal bowel function. And the nice thing is it's not addictive. It's a pure and mild herbal cleanse, and it's not habit forming. So, when you stop, you're fine. Your bowels are good. And the garlic, this is like a natural antibiotic. It supports digestive health and heart health, and it has antimicrobial properties and broad spectrum whole food extracts. So it's not just garlic. You can see in the picture there, it's garlic, leeks, chives, onion, and it's enteric coated. So what this means is that it can get past that strong acid in the stomach into the area where it's needed. And it's guaranteed high potencies, 4,200 micrograms of active allicin. A lot of those deodorized products that you see, they don't have the active ingredients. So really you're just getting garlic fiber, which is pretty useless. And the Beta Guard, this is an amazing product developed by Dr. Arthur First, one of the top toxicologists in the world. And what's really neat about it is it actually not only detoxifies your liver, your brain, all the cells in your body, and it defends against damaging free radicals, detoxifies harmful agents naturally. He actually developed it as an antidote to chemotherapy because he knew chemotherapy stays in your body for so long. So he needed something to pull out those heavy toxins. And that's why he developed this product. So you think with all the toxins we're exposed to in our environment, this is an amazing product to pull it all out. And we have a lot of people get really good results with allergies. And it's a proprietary formulation of vitamins, minerals, carotenoids, and it also has amino acid chelation, which means that you absorb it 5 times higher than any other product that's similar to this. And then once you finish the first 2 days where you only eat raw fruits and veggies and you do those cleansing products, then you start to rebuild. And that's when you put in our Acidophilus Plus, which is a probiotic for healthy and harmonious gastrointestinal balance. And a lot of people say, well, can I just eat yogurt? And I'm like, the only problem with yogurt is it can get destroyed by that stomach acid. But one of our Acidophilus is like 10 servings of yogurt. So you think when you're doing this cleanse, you're doing 2 a day, you'd have to eat 20 servings of yogurt if it actually has the active bacteria and it gets into the area where it should be. So this is concentrated active cultures, 5 types of beneficial bacteria, whole food derived, and it really is a good value because a lot of people show me, a lot of doctors recommend some of those other products out there. And when you start comparing, they only have like 1 type of bacteria. They're not enteric coated. There's no guarantee. They say the amount of bacteria at manufacture, not what actually gets down into the gut. So it's a very different product. And this is why it gets down in that area is because of this exclusive gel guard technology. And this enteric protection system makes sure, like we actually have a mechanical stomach in our labs and in our manufacturing facilities, and they test it and they put down through all the other probiotics, and none of them got down to the area it should be. And this product was 99.9% target delivery. And then you get 2 of the Neolife shake sample packs, which is really nice because you can, a lot of people are a little, sometimes they go, oh, I don't know if I like protein shakes, but our shake tastes so amazing. And you get 2 of them in here and it's biologically complete because now that you've cleansed out, you want to make sure to rebuild and you need those biologically complete 22 amino acids to do that. And this product has a high protein quality score, which means you actually absorb it. It gets into the body, 18 grams of protein, 5 grams of fiber. It controls your blood sugar. And you know what? You just feel so much energy and you feel so great when you take this product. And they also give you 2 sticks of Neolife tea. Each stick makes 2 cups of tea. And this is great because it's fat burning, it's energy. It's a great thing to take during the detox, or I like to take it even before exercise, or, it's just all natural. So, and they has that rhodiola, which is one of the most important herbs out there, helps with mental support and everything. It's a great product. So how do we do the 3-day detox? Like, as I mentioned, day 1 and 2, you cleanse. So you take the Neolax, the garlic, and the Beta Guard. And what you eat, only fresh fruits and vegetables. You can eat as much as you want, but no protein, no carbs, no nuts, no seeds. People always ask me, no, only fruits and vegetables, raw or lightly steamed. And also you want to stay away from the high carb fruits and vegetables like bananas and mangoes. And what you drink is 12 to 16 ounces of liquids every 2 hours. And as I mentioned, Neolife tea is great to take at least once a day. And day 3, that's when we balance and energize. And we're so excited because then you get to have your Neolife shake. And for those of us who've been taking this shake for years, it kills us not to take that shake for 2 days. And then on day 3, we just love it. So you take an Acidophilus in the morning, 3 Beta Guard, and then you take an Acidophilus at night. You have your shake in the morning. You can do a snack if you have a Neolife bar, or you can follow our meal foods to or your mini meal list. And then you have lunch, you can have a shake, then another mini meal. And then dinner, a healthy, low-fat, high-protein meal, for example, like grilled salmon or chicken breast with some raw or steamed greens with a nice salad, and then you want to drink again 12 to 16 ounces of liquid every 2 hours. And it's so important to drink a lot of water too, but they do give you the recipe for this great detox drink right in the booklet. And what's nice, it's got some ginger and some cayenne, so it's actually helps too. And I love to add the aloe too, along with this too. But this ginger tea also is very calming for the stomach, which is really, really nice. So what do we eat? Lots of fruits and vegetables, like, everything, and especially the dark color ones are great. And you want to make sure to wash your fruits and vegetables with our LDC, because especially it's hard to get everything organic. And even if it's organic, it still can have some pesticide residue. And pesticides are fat soluble, so this just flushes it off. And the food tastes so much better. Like I have a client, and she has a restaurant up in the Sioux. And everyone says, I don't know, your salads, they just taste so much better than everyone else's. And she washes all her salads with the LDC. It tastes so good. And here's a nice video that Nada did explaining it.
It's great. So just to give you an example, if you look at the broccoli that's sitting in these glasses, there's a little bit of the LDC, which is very concentrated. So you put about this much cleaner and the rest you fill up with water. I put a little squirt of that in here. And if you can see how the broccoli is actually sinking, okay, because I put a little bit of soap in there and it's removing the chemical sprays, as opposed to this broccoli, where see how the water is just beating off. So I'm going to do a bigger demonstration using an actual head of broccoli. It's cold water, and if you can see, when you can see the broccoli and the water, you see just beating off. It's beating off because it's sprayed with an oil-based pesticide. So the chemical sprays are not coming off of the broccoli. But if you wash the broccoli, this is just a little bit of LDC in the water, okay? Again, diluted, not constant, not straight, okay? And you take the water, and you see how the water is actually seeping right into the broccoli and removing all the chemical sprays. So I wash everything: bananas, cantaloupe, all your melons, spinach, kale, all your fruits and vegetables, washed in LDC, greener, cleaner fruits and vegetables that are safe to consume.
And they do
taste so much better.
Yeah, they do. I know, we had to add that. They do taste so much better.
And grapes too, and everything tastes so good. So here's a list of some of the non-starchy vegetables. So things like alfalfa sprouts, beans, broccoli, Brussels sprouts. You can see the list there. And lettuce, mixed vegetables. There's a lot of choices there. So it's you can make some really, really great meals with all these different vegetables. And here's an example of a very yummy breakfast, a fruit salad. Sometimes I like to do a fruit smoothie for breakfast too, and then I have a fruit salad as my mini meal, so you can do either one. But it's great having all these fresh fruits. Zucchini bruschetta is great, so you just slightly thin, cut the zucchini, and you can top it with, looks like red onion and tomatoes, cilantro, or parsley if you don't like cilantro. So not everyone likes it, and you put a little bit of lemon juice on there. It tastes really, really good. Our organic avocado kale salad is really nice too. So you can use, as you can see, it's just kale, red onion, avocado, cucumber. And for the dressing, you don't use any oil for day 1 and 2, but on day 3, you can add the olive oil. And a lettuce wrap is nice too. You can see guacamole and steamed onions, pepper, squash, zucchini, and mushrooms. It's really delicious. And a detox dinner is a nice coleslaw with purple cabbage, green cabbage, tomato, red onion, chopped cilantro. And again, you could put lime or lemon, whichever your preference is. It's really, really nice on that too. Grilled veggies are good. I don't recommend on tinfoil though. I'd rather do parchment paper, but that's just the only picture that we had. And you can add some lemon. This is day 3, you do more of the balsamic, but you can do some nice herbs on there. If it's day 1 and 2, you can actually just use like some lemon and Maybe put some herbs on there and just grill it that way as well. And a detox salad is great with avocados and tomatoes and red onion and lemon and salt and pepper. That tastes delicious too. And one of my favorites is a detox soup too. I don't know if we have a picture of that or not. Oh, there it is, the detox soup. That is really good too, because especially when it's cold, like right now, if you're detoxing, it is nice to have something, you know, a little bit warm at dinner, and it's packed full of vegetables and herbs, and you can just and use like a vegetable stock. Like you can either make your own or use an organic one or something like that. And a cabbage salsa recipe is nice too, like plum tomatoes, and you can, even if you don't want to slice up the cabbage, you can buy the packages of the sliced up cabbage, and I just wash it with the LDC. It tastes better if you do it that way. And you can make a quick you know, coleslaw that way as well. And here's dinner day 2. You know, here's some spiraled zucchini with garlic and green onions, baked herbs, Brussels sprouts, salad. You know, so people get very creative, and it tastes actually really, really good. And it's only 2 days, so you can do anything for 2 days, right? You can eat vegetables. And then day 3, you get to enjoy the delicious Neolife shake. That's Nana always puts hers in a wine glass to make it extra special, you know, type thing. And then you can have a look at that lovely dinner of salmon and vegetables and salad, you know, really, really good. And then that's when you can add the olive oil. Oops, my video is going on again. And there's another example of day 3, you know, salmon and asparagus and nice vegetables, really, really good. And you have to remember, your body is a finely tuned vehicle. So you give it good fuel and it will take you places. And here's some of the support groups. It's neolifedetox.com. There's a website. And there's also, if you're on Facebook, there's a great Facebook group, Neolife 3-Day Detox Support Group. You do have to be invited, but as long as you're friends with the person who invited you, they can invite you to this group. And this has great recipes and support. And Nana, do you want to share with us how we can, you know, kick this into some really healthy, simple weight loss strategies?
Yeah, and again, Todd Miller hit it, just really explained it nicely. And I'm so grateful that we have the tools to dive into the, you know, to burn fat, but to keep it off. And I think that's the main thing, because when you look at obesity and what's happening all over the world, I mean, there's so many people struggling. And the percentage right now of weight loss, or of obesity, and people that are overweight are very, very high. And effective weight loss interventions include sustained lifestyle change for exercise. So, you know, healthy eating and mindfulness. And it's funny because I've talked to people that are overweight and they can't exercise because of the challenge with their weight. So once they start to reduce some of their body fat, it's amazing how they're able to start exercising again. So it really is a complete lifestyle change. And when you're looking at the Neolife products, they're all based on whole food, not just natural. And that's one of the biggest Neolife differences. And our scientific advisory board, and now having Todd Miller on board, we're so grateful to have these Dr. Susan Beck as well. They work together very hard, and the science and research is incredible. They don't just endorse the product. They're involved in developing and doing research with the company and third-party publication. And that's why when we say proven 33, it's proven and published. So to have that healthy, energy-filled day, this is your basic, you know, way to start your day. Is you can just have one shake a day and a vitamin pack a day. But when you're doing the 2 protein shakes a day, that's when it really accelerates your weight loss. And Todd Miller talked about these individual products that are in this incredible pack, and these grain oils, the carotenoids, the omega-3, and the multivitamin in this pack are the foundation. But then what about breakfast? This is where, you know, when you look at, you know, starting your morning, most people don't start their morning with a protein. Usually it's a carbohydrate or nothing. And you need to eat protein for breakfast. And remember, he was saying how many grams of protein, right, per body weight? Like it's a lot of protein. So what's really cool is the Neolife shake is clinically proven for weight loss, and again, to reduce body fat and to help with your heart, cardiovascular protective as well, and reducing that body mass index. It's completely natural, as he was saying, and it tastes absolutely fantastic. 3 amazing flavors, nothing artificial, no GMO ingredients. And this is when you're ready to dive in. So you're doing your breakfast shake, your lunch shake, but you're having mini meals in between. You're having a healthy dinner at the end of the day. And we have a variety of different suggestions for mini meals, so you don't get bored of the same snacks all the time. You just have to make sure there's a protein and carb combination to keep the blood sugar regulated, and it keeps you satisfied. That's the main thing. People do not like to be hungry, right, when they're losing weight. So when you see some of these, one of my favorites is the half an apple with some almond butter. My favorite, the protein bar. I love having that in my purse or in my car, just in case I didn't grab an actual mini meal. So just a great way. And then again, the Neolife tea, as Mary Ellen talked about, I have this every single day in my water bottle when I go to the gym. This has been my energy drink. And it just helps to keep that your energy, and also puts you in a fat burning zone as well. And this is Gabriella. Gabriella is one of Mary Ellen's customers who, oh my gosh, her weight loss was incredible. But you know what's really important? She's kept it off. That's what we want to focus on, is keeping the weight off, right? Making that lifestyle change. And even Carlos, 251 pounds, right? And it's been years, and he's kept the weight off. And I'm going to have Dr. Beck with a beautiful closing statement.
Once you lose weight, how do you keep it off and maintain a healthy weight? This is the million-dollar question, and Neolife has the answer. The reason the Neolife weight loss program is so effective is that it gives you healthy, sustainable weight loss for life. This isn't a fad diet. This is something you can incorporate into your daily routine, and the transformation that has just begun is something you can maintain for the rest of your life. Keep taking Neolife Shake and Pro Vitality along with eating well and exercising. The proprietary protein blend in Neolife Shake will continue to help reduce your appetite, and it will increase thermogenesis. Thermogenesis is the rate at which we burn calories, and consuming protein burns more calories than ingesting fats and carbohydrates. We use 20 to 30% of our calories to burn protein, only 5 to 15% to burn carbohydrates, and very little, only 0 to 4% to burn fat. And warning, don't start eating a typical Western diet again. Here's the thing about eating a typical Western diet of foods like burgers, fries, and sugary drinks. This diet causes inflammation in the brain, which can increase our appetite. The best way to ensure we maintain our weight once we have lost it is to focus on eating an anti-inflammatory diet of lean meats, legumes, whole grains, lots of fruits and vegetables, and oily fish like salmon or mackerel. Make sure to switch out saturated fats like butter for monounsaturated fats like olive oil, because olive oil will work on a genetic level to reduce appetite. Neolife has other amazing supplements that are key for creating the healthy landscape our bodies need for maintaining the right weight. To name a few of my favorites, our Neolife tea will help boost metabolism, our glucose balance will help support healthy blood sugar, plus make sure to add Upbeat, which increases nitric oxide production. This increase in nitric oxide production helps maintain healthy weight because Upbeat supports a healthy inflammatory response. It helps normalize blood pressure, it helps improve blood flow, it supports normal blood sugar, and it increases exercise performance, which then helps with weight loss. Taking Neolife's products combined with an anti-inflammatory diet and exercise will help you achieve and maintain a healthy weight so you can live your life to the fullest.
I love her. I just love the way she explains it. She's just so easy to understand. And the Proven 33 is just going gangbusters in North America. We're having great success. You know, you register with this weight loss solution or shape up solution, and you purchase that 3-day detox, and you start with the detox and dive in to this amazing program. And you get virtual health coaching. I love my daily text messages every single day, just to keep you on track and to remind you, and just to give you some helpful tips, and hearing from our scientific advisory board. So how do you get started? Well, you know what? It's free to become a member of our wellness club. As soon as you become a member, you automatically get a 10% savings. And when you go on what we call Neoship, a monthly order, you double your savings. You get 20% off the retail. And that weight loss solution is a month's supply. You can also get all your shipping back in 6 months. A lot of my customers love getting their shipping back. You get it in loyalty points and you get to spend it on other products. Then we have a referral program where once you start to lose your weight, people start asking you, what are you doing? Well, it's so easy to share. And when you refer to 3 people, you get your pack free the next month and every month after that. So a lot of our customers are getting their breakfast solution or their weight loss solution free every single month. And we can help you do that. We have fitness challenges and weight loss challenges that you can enter as well, just to keep you on track. And so our breakfast solution is definitely one of our best sellers, but our weight loss solution is definitely the best place to start. And again, when you refer 3, you get yours free. We also have a Facebook group called Neolife Healthy Living Community. There's over 10,000 members in this group now, where people share amazing stories and testimonials of all areas of health, not just weight loss. And then there is one more option. I mean, if you or someone you know really enjoys helping others, I mean, some of you know my story. I had a great career. I was working as a police officer, but I just wanted more. I wanted time freedom. I wanted to work from home, wanted to start a family, but I didn't know what else I could do. And when I got the results with these amazing products, it was something I could share, and I continued to share. And I built an incredible income where I was able to leave my police career. So whether you're looking at $100 a month, $200 to $500 a month, $1,000 a month or more, just ask the person that invited you tonight. If you want to know more, then we can get together and help you understand how you can build an incredible part-time income opportunity. So again, you can just join for free and try the products and get on our weight loss journey with our Proven 33. Earn a little extra money if you're thinking about that. Just reach out to us. If you want to learn more, every Thursday we do a special talk just like this, and we always focus in on a specific health condition and share some powerful nutrition information to help to support your health journey. So again, I want to thank you so much for joining us this evening. And I am going to stop. Actually, you know what? Maybe Leonie, you're on day 1. How are you feeling, girl?
I'm feeling good, actually. Yeah, I had my, I was chewing on all these raw vegetables all day, and then I had something for dinner, and it was just all the different mixes of just vegetables. I'm feeling good. And I'm having my tea, my Neolife tea in here.
Excellent. Yeah, I know many of us have done the 3-day detox, and now we're going into our Proven 33, and we're feeling great. So we just
tomorrow's the second day where I have to make sure I'm here. You're running.
You got it.
It'll be good. It'll be good. Feel good.
Thank you so much. So I'm going to stop the recording, and then we'll open up to any questions. So thank you again for joining us.